Good afternoon. As you can see, Winsford Neighbourhood Plan. I'm Brian Clarke. I was chairman of the steering group that led the plan through. But I need to have a brief history of the actual town. First of all, most of you have heard of Winsford, but it only happens in bad winters. Because when you get a bad winter, they always come on and show you the salt mine at Winsford, where I worked for many years. That's the only time you ever hear of Winsford. But believe it or not, it's a fantastic town. It started off round the salt industry in the 1800s, and the growth of salt was absolutely brilliant over that time, and everything was based on that. In the 1960s, Manchester and Liverpool decided that they wanted to get rid of all their slum areas, and what they actually did was chose Winsford to be one of the overspill towns. And between 1960 and 1970, the town went from 14,000 up to about 24,000. And with that came the actual funding for the industry and the housing. But unfortunately, in the 70s, the actual money for the funding for the industrial side collapsed. And once that collapsed, so did the housing. And the apathy set in. And once you got the apathy that had set in, all the aspirations went down. Everybody had a low aspiration. The houses weren't selling, everything was wrong. And the actual people of Winsford felt, excuse the expression, dumped on. Because we were part of an affluent borough, which is Cheshire County Council. You know, and everybody thinks that in Cheshire there's lots of money, but no, there's areas of deprivation as well. So when the chance for neighbourhood planning came along, we as a town council had been working for years to try and bring the aspirations up. So we jumped at the chance of this, to revitalise the town, to have a shared objective, and to raise the aspirations and bring Winsford back to what it should be. What we needed was a blueprint, a vision for the future, how our town should look in 20 years from now, for our children and our grandchildren, not for us, we're old. It's for our children and our grandchildren, that's the one that matters. But it wasn't just about housing. It's about housing, employment, leisure facilities, leisure activities, retail, infrastructure, road and rail. We needed all of those things. And what we did, we went out to the public, we asked them what they actually wanted. It was rough, it wasn't smooth, there was nothing smooth about it. We had well-organised objectives with negativity to housing, basically on that side of it, but also negativity to infrastructure. Some of the people wanted us to stay as an island, but there's no way that could happen when the town was going to grow, because we got 3,500 houses. We knew that was coming our way through the local plan, which was the Cheshire West one, which was moving forward. So what we did was we worked very hard with the town, the rest of the town, and all the people and the objectors, and actually used their objections to actually highlight all the good things. And as it so happens, once we went to the referendum, which took 3 years to get there, we arrived and it came through, and we ended up with over 60% of the actual vote in favour of it. That is absolutely fantastic for a town that has got low aspirations and apathy. But now that we've adopted the plan, now we've got to make it happen. And this is the part where the neighbourhood plan comes into its own. We identified 7 themes to deliver for the people of Winsford and the town of Winsford. The image of the town, the use of our assets that we've got, like our flashes, which we actually used against us, town centre vibrancy and attractiveness. The one we've got at the moment is the one that falls down. That was on the news some time ago. Part of it fell down because it was 60s style. Support and strength for employment and for our youngsters. Encourage sustainable growth. That's the other side of it. Everything has got to be sustainable. I've got the yellow card. I'll be off in a minute. We need to improve the social, community and leisure, and improve the transport. Barriers to it, we still have the anti-housing, developers wanting more outside the plan areas, political parties using bits of the plan to gain votes, undermining the plan. It's still all there, and there's still some apathy. But the most important thing is funding. We have got one of the finest things that's actually coming our way, HS2. That's also a barrier as well as a good thing, because there's 4 miles from Winsford to the M6. That's all we need, that link, that 4 miles. But if we don't get it in soon, and we don't get the funding for it, using the LEPs to actually get this through, what's going to happen is that we're going to end up, HS2 will be in the way and we'll never get it. So all the people in Winsford that have actually been working, we've now raised their aspirations, and this is what people are coming up with, a new dawn for Winsford. This has all been spawned from the Winsford Neighbourhood Plan, and there's many a good thing still to come yet. And anybody who wants to speak to me afterwards about it, please feel free. I've got a lot of time to talk about it. Thank you.